Russian President Vladimir Putin will not attend the BRICS summit being held in South Africa in August. A spokesperson for South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has said that the decision has been taken by mutual agreement. The statement has put to rest months of speculation. It comes soon after Ramaphosa said that arresting Putin in Johannesburg would mean declaring a war against Russia. Hungary has said that it is against any delivery of weapons to Ukraine. The country's foreign minister said that Hungary especially stands against the use of cluster munitions. He reiterated that solutions must come at the negotiating table and not on the battlefield. The Hungarian defense minister also stated that the more weapons are sent to Ukraine, the longer the conflict will last. Court documents have revealed more information on the US soldier who fled to North Korea. It has been revealed that Travis King faced 2 assault allegations. He was also fined by a South Korean court for damaging a police car. King was also accused of shouting expletives against Koreans, the Korean army, and their police. The soldier is now believed to be in North Korea's custody. Former US President Donald Trump has said that the 2020 election probe allegedly targeting him is election interference. Trump has received a letter from a special counsel. It states that an investigation has been launched into Trump's efforts to change the 2020 presidential election results. A number of officials have testified against Trump. They said that Trump pressured them with claims of widespread voter fraud. The Biden administration has reportedly stopped China's Wuhan Institute of Virology from getting access to federal funds. This comes after the lab failed to provide documents on safety and security measures. The Wuhan Institute of Virology became a flashpoint on discussions on how the COVID-19 pandemic started. FBI Director Christopher Wray suspected that the virus could have originated at the facility. Algerian President Abdelmalek is on an official trip to China. He met Chinese Premier Li Qiang in Beijing on Wednesday. This comes after he met his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping yesterday. Leaders of the two countries pledged to deepen cooperation in areas including security and national defense. Protests against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's judicial overhaul plan intensified. Police deployed water cannons to disperse protesters who had blocked the roads. At least 45 people were arrested. Netanyahu is pushing for a law that would decrease the checks and balances between the judiciary and the government. Israel's parliament, the Knesset, aims to pass the law before July 30th. Thailand's court has temporarily suspended the Move Forward Party's leader, Pita Limjaroenrat, as a member of parliament. The decision has been taken over a case that alleges that he was unqualified to run in the general election held on May 14th. This comes just hours before the parliament was set to hold a second vote to elect the country's next prime minister. Pita Limjaroenrat finished first in the general election. However, he failed to get enough support during the parliament's first round of votes to select the PM. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan met Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani at Qatar's Lusail Palace on Tuesday. Qatar and Turkey signed a joint statement to mark the 50th anniversary of their diplomatic relations. Erdogan is currently on a 3-day Gulf tour that includes Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. His Gulf trip comes 2 months after his re-election in May this year. The former president of the Central American nation of Panama, Ricardo Martinelli, has been sentenced to more than 10 years in jail. This is over money laundering charges. He was accused of using public funds to buy a media conglomerate. The development threatens Martinelli's bid to contest in Panama's election next year. In climate news, campaigners from the group Just Stop Oil spray painted the headquarters of the British Energy Department. The climate group said the department was targeted for issuing new oil and gas licenses in the UK. Earlier this month, the climate campaigners disrupted Wimbledon matches in Britain. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has urged China to use scientific evidence in the Fukushima wastewater debate. Japan is set to release wastewater from the disaster-stricken Fukushima nuclear power plant into the Pacific Ocean. China has emerged as the most vocal critic against Japan's plans. Kishida said that according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, releasing the water was in line with international safety standards. Hundreds of wildfires continue to burn in Canada's Alberta and Quebec provinces. In Alberta, at least 20 out of 120 fires are out of control. In Quebec, firefighters have extinguished some of the wildfires, bringing the total down from 160 fires to 101. However, firefighters say they were unable to control the rest of the fires in Quebec. Temperatures in the U.S. city of Phoenix crossed 43 degrees Celsius for the 19th day straight. Across the United States, Americans grappled with various instances of extreme weather. This ranged from blazing heat to wildfire smoke-choked air to flash floods. Hospitals across Italy have seen a sharp rise in the number of people seeking emergency care for heat-related illnesses. Some hospitals reported a 20 to 25% rise in the number of patients arriving at emergency units. A heatwave continues to grip the country, with temperatures reaching record highs. Temperatures in Rome hit 41.8 degrees Celsius on Tuesday. It broke the previous record of 40.7 degrees set in June last year. A heat wave is scorching Japan's capital, Tokyo, as well. Temperatures crossed 37 degrees Celsius on Tuesday. City officials have advised senior citizens to stay indoors to avoid the chances of heat stroke. Japanese officials have installed machines that spray chilled mist to help residents stay cool. The World Meteorological Organization warned of more intense heat waves this year. They predicted that North America, Asia, and Africa will see temperatures upwards of 40 degrees Celsius for a prolonged number of days till August. They added that this would increase the cases of deaths due to dehydration, heat stroke, and heart attacks. Heavy rainfall caused a landslide in central regions of the South American nation of Colombia. At least 15 people were killed and several people are still missing. Over 22 houses were destroyed. Rescue operations are underway. The landslides have caused a blockage on highways in Colombia's central regions. Monsoon rains have caused India's Yamuna River to swell to dangerous levels for days now. The Yamuna River has overflowed in some parts of India's capital New Delhi and the northern state of Uttar Pradesh. Now the river has risen to the walls of the iconic Taj Mahal. Heavy rainfall caused flash floods in Russia's capital Moscow on Tuesday. Several roads were flooded and some low-lying areas were partially submerged. Moscow airport reported dozens of flight cancellations due to the bad weather. The heavy downpour came after 2 consecutive days of severe heat. Now moving to business and technology, the United Nations Security Council held its first meeting on artificial intelligence on Tuesday. Britain's Foreign Secretary James Cleverly chaired the meeting. Cleverly said he expects AI to fundamentally alter every aspect of human life. Meanwhile, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres backed calls by some states for the creation of a new UN body. The group will support collective efforts to govern AI technology. The European Union has said that TikTok is not yet fully compliant with the region's upcoming Digital Services Act. This is according to a test carried out by the European lawmaker Thierry Breton. The EU is making it mandatory for large internet platforms to abide by its list of moderation rules. Failing to do so will put them at a risk of facing hefty fines or outright bans in European countries. Meta is releasing a commercial version of its artificial intelligence model, Llama. The latest version of the model is called Llama 2. It'll be distributed by Microsoft and will run on the Windows operating system. Facebook's parent company does not plan to charge for Llama's access or usage. This will offer a free-of-charge alternative to the expensive models sold by OpenAI and Google. Twitter has been hit with another lawsuit this month. This is over the company's severance payouts and its bias against employees during layoffs. The lawsuit says that the company owes at least $500 million in severance pay to former employees. It also alleges that Twitter targeted older workers during the layoffs. 22 Republican Party lawmakers have written to the head of the U.S. antitrust regulator, Lina Khan. They have urged the Federal Trade Commission to drop its fight against Microsoft's acquisition of video game developer Activision Blizzard. They argued that the proposed purchase is a pro-competitive transaction. The FTC has been seeking to block the deal over concerns that it would hamper competition in the gaming sector. Australia's securities regulator has cancelled the license of the local arm of collapsed US cryptocurrency exchange FTX. This will be effective from July 14th. In November last year, FTX filed for bankruptcy protection in the US. The company had then said that it was unable to repay customers who had deposited funds on its exchange. Vietnamese automaker VinFast will begin the construction of its electric vehicle factory in the US next week. The company hopes to start the factory in 2025. This is a year later than its initial plan. The factory will be capable of producing 150,000 vehicles per year. The company also aims to make it the primary supplier of electric vehicles in the Northern American market. US Auto Safety Regulators are opening a special crash investigation into a fatal accident involving a Tesla vehicle. In July this year, a 17-year-old driving a Subaru was killed after a head-on collision with a Tesla Model 3. The Tesla driver was suspected of relying on the vehicle's advanced driver assistance systems. Since 2016, the auto regulator has opened more than 36 special crash investigations against Tesla. These are cases where the vehicles were suspected of using driving assistance systems, such as the autopilot mode. Johnson & Johnson has been ordered to pay nearly $19 million to a man from California in the US. The 24-year-old said that he developed cancer from exposure to the company's baby powder. This comes as a setback for Johnson & Johnson as it seeks to settle thousands of similar cases over its talc-based products in the US. According to a report, more than 100 McDonald's employees are allegedly facing sexual assault, harassment, racism, and bullying. This is across its outlets in the UK. Workers, some as young as 17, say they are being groped and harassed almost routinely. McDonald's has now apologized and said it had fallen short. Moving to sports, in women's cricket, England beat Australia by 69 runs in the third Ashes one-day international match. England put up a target of 285 runs in their innings. Australia were bowled out for 199 runs in the 35th over. With the victory, England won the three-match ODI series 2-1. However, Australia clinched this year's women's Ashes. Earlier, the Aussies beat England 1-0 in Test matches and 2-1 in the T20 series. Inter Milan goalkeeper Andre Onana has confirmed his transfer to English club Manchester United. Man United will pay the Serie A club a fee worth over $71 million for the goalkeeper. This is United's second signing in the summer transfer window. Earlier this month, Chelsea's Mason Mount joined the Red Devils. This year's list of the most valuable players has been released. Manchester City striker Erling Haaland is now the #1 MVP. He overtook Paris Saint-Germain's Kylian Mbappe. Haaland is now valued at over $217 million. At a value of about $204 million, Mbappe is second. Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr. is ranked third at just above $176 million. Lionel Messi participated in his first training session for Inter Miami on Tuesday. The Argentine star took part in drills and dribbling exercises. Messi's former Barcelona teammate Sergio Busquets also took part in the practice session. Both Messi and Busquets will debut for Inter Miami on Friday. Meanwhile, former Barcelona defender Jordi Alba is also set to join Inter Miami. The club's president confirmed the news on Tuesday. Alba will link up with his former Barca teammates Messi and Busquets again. Meanwhile, Inter Miami is looking to sign another former Barcelona player, Luis Suarez. FIFA unveiled a museum in the Australian city of Sydney earlier today. This comes just a day before the kickoff of this year's Women's World Cup. Trophies of previous World Cups are on display at the museum. FIFA is looking to increase the popularity for women's football. The football body expects that at least 2 billion people will watch the 2023 Women's World Cup. In badminton, India's Priyanshu Rajawat advanced to the second round at this year's Korea Open. The tournament is being played in South Korea's capital, Seoul. Rajawat beat Korea's Choi Ji-hoon 21-15, 21-19. He will next play Japan's Kodai Naraoka on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Indian men's pair of Chirag Shetty and S. Rankireddy also advanced to the second round at the Korea Open. They beat their Thai opponents 21-16, 21-14. During the match, Rankireddy set a world record for the fastest badminton shot. His smash shot reached a whopping speed of 565 kilometers per hour. Rankireddy now holds the record for the fastest speed in all sports. The fastest time recorded for any other sport is a Formula One race car, which clocked almost 400 kilometers per hour. Indian mixed doubles pair of Rohan Kapoor and N. Sikki Reddy also won at the Korea Open. They beat the Philippine duo of Alvin Morada and Alisa Leonardo 21-17, 21-17 in straight sets. The Indian pair will next play their Chinese counterparts on Thursday. The chief of the International Olympic Committee defended Russian and Belarusian athletes. On Tuesday, he said that the athletes shouldn't be punished because of how their governments act. He further noted that sports and politics should not be mixed. The committee is yet to make a decision on the participation of athletes from Russia and Belarus in the 2024 Olympic Games. The Paris Olympics start on the 26th of July next year. Moving on to the world of entertainment, Elton John and husband David Furnish have testified on behalf of Kevin Spacey at the actor's sexual assault trial in London. The singer dialed in via video link from Monaco on Monday. John shared his recollections of Spacey attending his annual white tie and tiara ball. The event was hosted to raise money for the fight against AIDS. One accuser had claimed that Spacey grabbed his private parts while driving to John's event. American supermodel Gigi Hadid was reportedly arrested over the possession of cannabis on July 10th. The 28-year-old supermodel was vacationing in the British Overseas Territory of the Cayman Islands in the Caribbean. She was arrested at Owen Roberts International Airport upon arriving there with a friend via private plane. Hadid and her friend pleaded guilty and were each fined $1,000, but no conviction was recorded. Director Christopher Nolan has said he will not work on another movie until the end of the Hollywood Actors Union strike. Nolan's latest movie is Oppenheimer, a historical thriller starring Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb. The SAG-AFTRA strike began on July 14th, and the film's actors showed solidarity by walking out of the London premiere of Oppenheimer. Disney's live-action adaptation of Lilo and Stitch has come to a halt. It joined the ever-growing list of productions shutting down in the fallout of the SAG-AFTRA strike. Inspired by the 2002 animated film, Lilo and Stitch is one of several upcoming Disney live-action remakes. Filming began on May 1st on location in Hawaii. What's particularly noteworthy is the claim that the remake only had a week left of filming before it was shut down. Dwayne Johnson, popularly known as The Rock, is about to break a Hollywood record for the highest paid actor. The WWE wrestler turned actor's new Christmas movie is reportedly set to make him the highest paid actor of all time. Red One, which is expected to debut on Prime Video later this year, will reportedly earn Johnson a hefty $50 million. This would be the highest upfront fee for any single actor in Hollywood history. Meanwhile, all 5 seasons of The Rock starrer Ballers are expected to be featured on Netflix in the United States on August 15th. Netflix has also lined up the series for release in Brazil and the Netherlands. Created by Steven Levinson, Ballers ran for 5 seasons on HBO between 2015 and 2019. The series revolves around the glamorous and high-stakes world of professional sports and the lives of the athletes, agents, and financial managers who navigate it. Just in time for its 30th anniversary, the 90s sci-fi series Babylon 5 is headed for Blu-ray. Babylon 5, the complete series, containing every episode of J. Michael Straczynski's space opera magnum opus, will be released this December. It'll be the first time the series has been remastered in high definition. The series was a technical marvel for its time. The show's titular space station, Babylon 5, and the space battles that often erupted around it were all rendered in CG. Britney Spears has some new music dropping soon. The pop star is collaborating on a new single with producer and former Black Eyed Peas frontman will.i.am. The duo teased a new song titled Mind Your Business on his Instagram on Monday. will.i.am and Spears have collaborated in the past on songs such as Big Fat Bass, a track on her 2011 Femme Fatale album. A concert by the US rapper Travis Scott at the Giza Pyramids has been banned by the Egyptian Musicians Syndicate. The ban comes after an online campaign against the hip-hop artist. In recent years, the Egyptian Musicians Syndicate has spearheaded a fight against musical genres deemed improper in Egypt, with rap a frequent target. The Music Syndicate has released a statement saying that Scott's concert would, quote-unquote, go against their traditions. The 51-year-old rap star Snoop Dogg will launch a new cookbook called Snoop Dogg Presents Goon with the Spoon. This will be in collaboration with fellow rapper E40. The book will feature over 65 recipes and has been inspired by Snoop and E40's music.